Welcome to Stability and Balance. I'm Caroline and this is Poppy, and we are going to be taking through some movements that you might find in other kind of regular classes that you might not realise that your balance is a little bit off on, okay? So we're going to start off just with some diaphragmatic breathing. So if you just stand at the end of that mat for me, perfect. And we're just going to start with a little inhale through the nose and then exhale through the mouth. So I just really want you to centre yourself, inhaling, expanding your rib cage and exhaling through the mouth. Good. Just check in with your jaw, make sure your jaw isn't clenched. Maybe just check in with your hands, make sure that they're just nice and loose by the sides. And then we're going to start with a few roll downs. So we're inhaling through the nose, and then as you exhale, you're just going to roll down, all the way down, nice and slow. Arms are going to be nice and heavy. Good. Keeping the knees nice and soft. And then when you hit the floor, you're then going to just come all the way back up, pressing through the feet and restacking through the spine. Good. So we're thinking about the shoulders, hips, knees and ankles being in line with each other, and then all the way down. Good. Nice. And then just making sure that we're not locking out in the knees at all, keeping the knees nice and soft. You're just going to do one more for me, okay? So all the way down. Nice. And this time you're going to bend the knees and we're going to come into a box position. So all the way down, shoulders in line with your wrists, knees in line with your hips. And then just take your left foot to the outside of your left hand. And then we're just going to draw little circles, okay? So yeah, have a little wiggle if you need to, just to get into the right position. That's it, good. And we're going to do another 2 here. So it doesn't have to be too big, just finding that space within the hip and then reversing that circle, so going the other way. Should feel quite nice. Good, just going to do 3 more. And then your last one, bringing that knee back underneath your hip and then just changing sides. Good. So again, you might want to shuffle that leg a little bit further back, unhook the back foot, do what feels good. Remember, this is your warm up. Good. And then once you've done 5 circles one way, you're just going to reverse the circles and do 5 the other. Excellent. Nice. Bringing the knees back underneath the hips, and then you're just going to grab your mini band, okay? So you don't want to go too heavy with your mini band, and you're just going to pop it round your hands, okay? All right, so in that box position, you're just going to take your left hand to begin with, and I want you to imagine that your hand is on a clock, okay? So you're going to bring the hand out to a 3 o'clock. That's it, bring it back into the center, and then to a 12 o'clock, so up in front, that's it, good, and then back into that 3 o'clock. That's it, so good. We're gonna just do 2 more like that. So just getting a little bit of stability through those shoulders. So the serratus anterior is a shoulder stabilizer muscle that gets quite weak during pre and postnatal. So we're just waking it up and making sure that it's on board with what we're doing today, okay? And then you're gonna do the other side for me. So you can cheat on this one, so just make sure that you're doing it nice and slow, okay? So pulling out to the side and then back into the center and then forward. Good. With stability, it's very small movements that will get the muscles working, okay? So you don't have to do big movements. Last one. And perfect. I'm just going to grab that band off of you. Okay, so back in that box position, you're then just going to reach your left arm and reach it forward. Good. And then you're going to just turn the thumb down, and then you're going to reach back and open up. That's it, good. And we're just going to do 3 of those. So coming round and then reaching all the way, opening up. You might have a few clicks, that's okay. And then placing the hand back down and changing sides. So we reach up to begin with. Just careful on that supporting arm that you're not locking it out at all. You've got a micro bend in and you're scooping in towards your shoulder. That's it, good. Just do 1 more for me. And rest, good. Come off of the hands, just give them a bit of a shake out. And then we're gonna move through retraction and protraction of the shoulders, okay? So popping your hands back down, and then I want you to start to think about the shoulder blades gliding away from each other and moving up towards the ceiling. So you're kind of arching through the midsection and then coming back down into that neutral position and then squeezing the shoulder blades together. Again, it doesn't have to be a huge movement, okay? But you're just moving through one and to the other. That's it, good. So lovely. So think about those shoulder blades as you protract the shoulders, okay? They're coming away, and as you retract them, they're squeezing together. Good, just gonna do one more on each. And again, like I said, it doesn't have to be a huge move. Nice. Lovely, and then just bringing it back. We're then gonna come into a bird dog. So right arm and left leg are gonna slide away from each other, keeping the weight evenly distributed between the opposite sides. That's it, good, lifting up. Then just turn the thumb up towards the ceiling, and you're gonna take the arm and the leg away from the midline. So you're coming out, and then bringing it back in. Again, it doesn't have to be a huge move. We're just gonna do another 3 here, but we're just challenging that center, okay? Final 2. And then last 1. And then floating the arm and the leg back down, and then changing sides, okay? So just if you need to take a moment to just reshuffle, feel free. And then we're coming up, thumb comes up towards the ceiling, and we go out to the side. Good. And back in, nice. 3 more. Evenly shifting the weight through that supporting hand and leg. So we're not just going over to one side. This is your final one. And then bring it all the way back in. Good. All right, we're going to come up to standing. Lovely, perfect. And we're going to come into some standing work. So I've said before that lots of movement goes through the pelvis during pre and postnatal. We can tend to dump into one side because we're holding the baby, kind of doing something else with one arm, okay? So we're really trying to stabilize through that pelvis. So you're going to shift your weight onto your left leg, okay? Soften that knee, and then we're going to slide the right leg back in a scooter, okay? So I want you to imagine that you're sitting on a bar stool. That's it, yeah, there you go. Perfect bar stool. And then you're gonna take it back and then bring it in. That's it, nice. So just watch what that supporting leg's doing. Nice, it's not shifting out to the side. We're just gonna do another 4 here. So we're also working through that ankle stability as well. Good, last 3. Final 2. If you need a break, you can take one. Otherwise, we're going to start to bring that right leg out to the side. So it's going to go out and then in. Yeah, out and in. And we're trying not to shift over to that left side. We're using our core, we're using our stability through the pelvis. Good, you've got 4 more. And then last 3. Final 2. And then last 1. Good, perfect. All right, so we're gonna come up, you're gonna shake it out. We're gonna do the other side, funny that, okay? So we're here shifting the weight onto the other side, and then sit back on that bar stool and just think that the ribs and the hips are in line with each other. Good, and then you start by taking the leg out, good. And we're thinking about length, and I want you to try and avoid really shifting that weight over to one side. Good. And you've got 4 more here. And whilst you're doing this, I want you to think about what side feels easier and what side feels a little bit harder, because when we do the other exercises, you're going to go on your weaker side first. Last one, and then bringing it into that lateral movement out to the side, okay? That's it. And if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can even hover that left leg off of the floor. That's it. Copy's that, thank you very much. And you got 4 more. That's it, good. And 3. Final 2, and then this is your last 1, and rest. Good, okay, shake it out, perfect. All right, so we're gonna come into a staggered deadlift, or if you're feeling like your balance is feeling good today, it might even be a single leg deadlift. So can I get you to face me? Perfect. So you're gonna be on your weaker side first. So if you have a little think about what side felt weaker on the last exercise. Staggered deadlift, you're going to bring the back leg behind, and then you've got that hinge position. So we're here, about 70% through that front leg and 30% through the back leg. So that is option 1. We'll do a few of those, and then I'll give you an option to make it a little bit more challenging, okay? So we're hinging forward, and you've got a stiletto on that back leg, or that back heel rather, and then driving up. Good. Down and up. Good. Just 3 more. And then final 2. And then your last 1. And rest. Good. Okay, so for the next kind of 5 to 8 reps, you can stay where you are. with this one, or we're going to come into a single leg deadlift, okay? Remember, your balance will be different because of the center of gravity shift from being pregnant to postnatal, but also hormones and tiredness can affect your balance, okay? So you might have done this last week and it felt fine. This week it feels a little bit kind of off, but that's quite normal, okay? Just ride with it. So we're going to come into a single leg deadlift. So we've got a soft knee on that supporting leg. We're squeezing into the glute, and then we come into that nice capital T shape. So just lengthen that back leg out slightly more. That's it, good. And up, nice. Good, and we're working for around 5 to 8 reps, okay? Because some of you might fall out, and that's totally fine, okay? And some of you will be able to boss the 8 reps, no problem, okay? Good, last few. And then we just wrap up on that last one. And rest, good, okay. So if that felt good for you, you can come with us for the next stage. If it did feel a little bit eggy, maybe just keep with that one and do another 5 reps. So we're adding on this time. You're gonna come into a single leg deadlift, and then you're gonna come into a knee drive. So the knee comes all the way up, okay? All right, so we go into that single leg, and then up, hold, and then bring it back. A lot of work on that single leg, okay? So we should really be feeling it. You've got another 3 here. Good. Final 2. And then this is your last one. Whee, nice, good, okay, so pop the foot down. So before we go on to the other side, we're just gonna do a quick round of calf raises. So just shake it all out, and then you're gonna be lifting up nice and high. So we lose about 50% of the strength in our calves during pregnancy, okay? So we're just building those up. Also, it's a really good balance tool, okay? So really think about the calves doing the work. Squeeze the calf, come up. That's also gonna work through our ankle stabilizers as well. Good, we'll do 4 more of these. So up and back down, good. So imagine that you've got a pencil on the top of the head and you're trying to hit the same point each time. Good, last one. And rest. Okay, so obviously done it on one side, you've got to do it on the other, okay? So this should be your stronger side. We're gonna start off with those staggered deadlifts. Even if you know you can do single deadlifts, maybe start with these just so that you get into the movement pattern on that hip, okay? All right, so we're coming down, stilettos on that back leg, and you can bend that, yeah, that's it, good, and then drive up. So remember, it's 70% on that leg that's the supporting leg, 30% of your weight on that stiletto leg. Let's call it the stiletto leg. I like that. Good, okay, you're gonna just do 1 more. And rest. So that might be your option to stay with that today, okay? Otherwise, we're gonna come into our single leg version. So we're coming down into our single leg, and then up. Beautiful, good. So remember, we're working 5 to 8 reps on this round, okay? And that is because you might fall out and just need to shake it out, and that's totally fine, okay? Don't worry, your balance isn't, you're not gonna get ticks on who can balance and who can't, okay? So just take a moment and then get back into it if you need to. Good. And just coming into those last few reps. Poppy, you've just got 2 more, okay? So, and then last one. And rest, good. So I'm gonna invite you to come to that 3rd option with that knee drive, okay? And the option is yours. If you wanna stay with where we were, then just go for that. Otherwise, we're gonna add that knee drive, okay? So we come into that single leg deadlift, nice. We drive up, we hold, good. And then we come back down. So when we're thinking about, slow it down a tiny bit, yeah? When we're thinking about returning to impact, okay, so we're running, jumping, we need to be spending some time on one leg, okay? That's how we get strong, yeah? And these ones are really good to kind of mimic running, okay? So if that is one of your goals, this is a really nice one to do. Last one here. And rest, good, perfect. All right, so just shaking it out. We come into that 2nd round of calf raises. Good. All right, so we've got 1 more little balance challenge, and then we are done, okay? So just coming into the last 5 reps of these. Good. And if you need to hold on to something, that's totally fine. You've got 3 more. And 2. And last one. Good, okay, so moving on from our movement patterns class, okay, we are going to be doing a lunge rotate, okay, so we'll start off with these and then we're going to add in something, okay, so we're going to just come a little bit further forward and we're going to do the same side, okay, so you're going to be going back on your, that's the one, good, and then rotating across and then coming back into the center. Let's do another 4 on that side, so we go down, rotate, back and up, nice. So I want you to think of the movement like 2 moves, okay? The lunge and then the twist. And then this is your final one. Good, okay, so now we're gonna keep on that leg, but we're gonna add a knee drive, okay? So just like we did with the single leg deadlift. So we go down, we rotate, we come up, and we hold. Good, okay, give me 4 more. That's it, across. And just watch what that front knee is doing, okay? So what we wanna try and avoid is the front knee kind of going in and out because the ankle isn't stable enough. Really press the foot in. And as you rotate, the back knee wants to stay driving down rather than coming with your rotation, okay? Last one. And this one, we're gonna hold it at the top, okay? So we're gonna hold it and we're gonna extend the leg out. That's it, good. And then back in, and then out, and then in, 1 more, and then out, and in, and then lower back down. Good, okay, now that is tough, yeah? So if you're looking at me being like, oh my goodness, that is a challenge, okay? And that's where we're working up to, okay? All right, we're gonna do the other side for me. So we're lunging back down, good. We're rotating across, good. And then standing back up, nice. So 4 more like this. And one side can feel wildly different to the other, okay? That's really normal. That's it, good. And just try and think about those elbows being nice and wide because that's going to open up through the collarbone. Imagine you've got light shining out of those elbows, okay? And then this is your last one. And rest, okay? So the next one we're going to do adds that knee drive, yeah? So when you're ready, we're going to come down. We're going to rotate. You're going to bring it back to the center and we're going to lift. Good, okay? We bring it back. So when we're thinking about that lift, I want you to think about lifting almost from the abdominals, okay? So lifting up and then bringing it back down. Now your lift might not look as high as Poppy's, okay? It might be that you're just lifting it very gently off the floor, okay? That's where you might be starting. And remember, your journey is your journey, yeah? Okay, so just gonna do 1 more and we're gonna hold it there and then add those nice little kicks, okay? So we lift out and then back. Good, just 2 more. Good, and then this is your last one. And nice, good, perfect, well done. Whew. All right, so what I invite you to do is just shake everything out because when you do a bit of balance, you're like, oh God, okay, and then we're gonna come down and just stretch it out, okay? So if you just lie on your back for me, you're gonna take your right knee in towards your right armpit, your left leg's gonna extend down, and you're just gonna hold it here for a few seconds, inhaling and exhaling. Just soften your jaw, make sure that you're not holding any tension through there, and then just bring it across the body, okay? Take the arms out to the side as if you're a capital T shape, and you should feel a nice stretch through here. So when our core muscles aren't as strong as we need them to be, sometimes the other muscles join in and kind of try and help us, and we can get quite tight through here. So hopefully this feels really nice, okay? And then we're just gonna change sides. So we're hugging the knee in, and then we come across the body. That's it, arms come out to the side. Perfect. And breathing, lovely. Nice. And then just coming back into the center, and we're gonna come into a hip flexor stretch. So we're just gonna put onto the knees, and then you're just gonna tuck the tailbone under, and the same arm as the knees on the floor is just gonna reach up and then come over to the side slightly. That's it, good. So really thinking about that length all the way up. And then coming back into the center and then changing sides. Good, so we tuck under, that's it, we reach up, we come over. Good. Nice. And then just bringing yourself back down. We're just gonna finish off in a child's pose because it can be a little bit stressful and a little bit like doing your balance work. So reaching the arms forward, And balance is something that you can train, and that's what the idea is behind this class, is that you do it a few times and you notice how you can get better quite quickly, okay? It's just something that we have to retrain postnatally. So we're just going to come back up, and thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it and look forward to having you in some of our other classes.